there's so much I want to say to you, and I hope that we can FaceTime or see each other in person soon and get to talk more. But I'm just going to send you a few thoughts, and hopefully it's not going to be more than a few minutes. But I don't have the best track record. I don't think either one of us have the best track record for our voice memos.
Perform. She tried to steal my movie from her. I bent over backward to accommodate her. Her alleged claims of sexual harassment are complete BS. Here's what really happened. Released their actual texts, putting things like, he watched me breastfeed naked in my trailer in context when we saw text from her saying, I'm breastfeeding in my trailer, come on over.
This is not some petty celebrity feud or a PR mess that'll disappear in a few weeks. No, this story has the potential to shake the very foundation of how Hollywood operates. And if even a fraction of these allegations are true, we might be looking at something much bigger than a messy behind-the-scenes drama. Leaked audio recordings have allegedly surfaced, and if what's being said about them is accurate, they don't just expose a few shady conversations. They could unravel a deep-seated corruption within the entertainment industry, an industry where power isn't just about talent or hard work, but about control, leverage, and knowing exactly how to play the game, and who plays it better than Hollywood agents.
It was hard not to love the movie because you guys are so beautiful to watch that I was just like,
well, hello.
At the center of this storm are two of the most carefully curated celebrities in the world, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. Now, they are a brand. They are Hollywood's golden couple, the ones who've mastered the art of being universally adored while keeping just enough mystery to stay interesting. But behind closed doors, was their success built on something more than just talent? That's the question that makes this whole situation so unsettling. If these tapes are as damaging as some people claim, then the Hollywood machine might finally be cracking open for the world to see. This leaked audio is making heads turn through Hollywood, and honestly, I can see why. A 7-minute voice note allegedly from Justin Baldoni has surfaced, and it's not just some casual offhand message. It's an apology, a long, detailed, emotionally loaded apology to Blake Lively during the production of It Ends With Us. And the timing? Let's just say it's raising more than a few eyebrows. In the recording, Baldoni sounds genuinely regretful. He acknowledges that he messed up, saying,
Reading the second part of your message, my heart sank. And I'm really sorry. I for sure fell short. And you worked really hard on that. And
there's no defensiveness, no pushback, just pure remorse. He even admits that he could have handled things differently. And what was this huge mistake that had him groveling at 2 a.m.? A disagreement over changes Lively made to a crucial rooftop scene. Now let's talk about that for a second. The way Baldoni talks in this recording, you can hear the respect, the admiration, even a little self-doubt. He goes out of his way to praise Lively's edits, saying they'll actually make the movie better. He's not just going along with it to keep the peace. He genuinely believes she made strong creative choices. That alone contradicts a lot of the narratives floating around. But then things take a turn. Blake reportedly name drops Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift, claiming that they approved the script edits. And Baldoni, he doesn't push back. In fact, he seems almost in awe of their influence, responding,
that's how you felt, and they knew that, and we should all have friends like that, aside from the fact
we think
that
that's Taylor Swift, though we don't know
planet.
for sure.
The three of you guys together, it's unbelievable.
Pause. That line right there, that's what's making people question everything. Was Baldoni truly apologizing because he felt he was wrong, or was he apologizing because he was up against a Hollywood powerhouse? When Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift are backing someone, what choice does a director really have? And that's where the real debate begins. Because from the outside looking in, it sure sounds like someone who knows he's already lost the fight. But there's more. A few other recordings have surfaced, and they supposedly expose agents working for Reynolds and Lively discussing some very shady behind-the-scenes tactics. We're talking about manipulating media narratives to protect their clients, pressuring talent agencies to drop certain actors, and even running smear campaigns against people they see as threats. And the biggest bombshell? Ryan Reynolds allegedly pressured WME, the William Morris Endeavor, one of the most powerful talent agencies in Hollywood, to drop Justin Baldoni. Let's break that down. First down, Baldoni claims that Reynolds privately called called him a sexual predator in conversations with WME executives, essentially pushing them to cut ties with him. Now, that's a massive accusation.
So it's not like he's hired by WME. He's a client of WME, so they do reserve the right to drop him at any point.
For any
However,
reason.
this could prove retaliation on Blake Lively's side. The fact that Ari Emanuel went on stage into a microphone in front of an audience and said he's ride or die, and they fired him.
But, of course, WME is denying everything. The agency has come out and said that Reynolds and Lively had zero influence over their decision to part ways with Baldoni, which, okay, maybe they didn't, but does anyone actually believe that? When have agencies that big ever come up and apologized? And it's not just in Hollywood. If you look at K-pop industry, that's the very same thing there. If you take a step back, the timing is suspicious. Baldoni was one of WME's clients for years. He had big projects lined up. His career was moving forward, and then, just like that, he's dropped right in the middle of this legal war with Blake Lively, and we're supposed to believe that's just a coincidence? If this is true, then we're looking at something really disturbing. A-list celebrities allegedly using their power to blacklist someone from the industry. And if they could do this to Baldoni, who else have they done it to? How many other actors, directors, or producers have been quietly pushed out of Hollywood because they crossed the wrong people? For Lively's side, the audio is gold. Critics are saying this could be a guilt-ridden apology, proving that Baldoni knew he had done something wrong. He literally says, "I fed up. That is a fail on my part." That kind of phrasing, that's what people are pointing to when they say, see, he's admitting something. Because if this was just about a creative disagreement, why does he sound so emotional, so desperate to make things right? If you're Team Lively, you hear this and think, this is a man trying to clean up his mess before it gets worse. But then there's the other side, and they're saying this audio proves the exact opposite. Because Baldoni isn't gaslighting Lively. He isn't dismissing her concerns, isn't shutting her down, isn't doing anything aggressive or inappropriate. He's apologizing. He's literally saying,
And I feel really grateful that you feel safe enough to tell me that that's how you feel and share that with me. And I'm really sorry. I f***ed up. That is a fail on my part. One thing you should know about me is I will admit and apologize when I fail.
That's not a manipulative response. That's someone acknowledging a co-star's input and trying to keep the peace. And let's be real, how often do Hollywood directors actually say things like that? This isn't someone bullying Lively behind the scenes. This is a guy who, by all accounts, sounds like he's trying to be professional, and that's where things get really complicated. Because no matter which side you're on, this one apology does not prove sexual harassment. It doesn't confirm Baldoni's guilt, but it also doesn't completely clear him. What it does do is fuel the debate. It gives people more to argue over, more to analyze, more to twist in their favor. So the real question is, how much will this actually matter in court? Because when it comes to legal battles, an apology over a creative disagreement is not the same as proof of misconduct. And if this is what Lively's team is using as evidence, is it really strong enough? Hollywood is divided right now, and that's putting it lightly. You must be thinking, are people actually buying these allegations, or is this just another overblown Hollywood scandal?
You got great friends if that's how you felt and they knew that, and we should all have friends like that, aside from the fact
We
that
think
they're two
that's
of the most
Taylor
creative
Swift,
people
though
on
we
the
don't know
planet.
for sure.
The three of you guys together, it's unbelievable.
Some insiders are not convinced this is the scandal Blake and Ryan want it to be. They say the allegations are exaggerated, taken out of context, maybe even strategic, because Hollywood is a PR war zone, and the people with the best connections, the best media control, and the biggest fan bases tend to win. And if there's one thing we know about Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, it's that they know how to play this game. They never respond impulsively. They never get caught up in messy internet fights. They let their silence do the talking, and so far, they've said nothing. But then there's the other side, the side that sees this whole thing as confirmation of what people have suspected for years, that Hollywood's biggest stars have the power to control narratives, blacklist people, manipulate careers, and all that. While some people are backing Blake, others in the industry are hinting at their own frustrations with Blake and Ryan. People are whispering about how they handle Hollywood relationships, how they maneuver behind the scenes, how they keep their hands clean while controlling everything around them.
I don't know if you feel the same way listening to it, but it's just a man being fully castrated by a woman who is using toxic feminism
Candace Owens has been covering her case on her podcast, and according to her, this was humiliation, a full surrender, a moment that exposed the brutal power dynamics in Hollywood. Baldoni has spent years building his reputation as a male feminist, and not in the Hollywood say the right things for PR way. No, he actually believes in it. He has dedicated his platform to listening to women, supporting their voices, uplifting them. And yet, when this voice note leaked, it didn't make him look like a strong ally. It made him look like a man being walked all over. This is a man who completely folds, and what did that get him? Nothing. Not his movie, not his dignity, just mockery. The man spent his time in the basement over the premiere of the movie because Blake felt safe around him. Owens goes even further. She says Reynolds is playing the part of an alpha, but he's actually a beta. That's a harsh take, but look at how this played out. And then there's Taylor Swift. Not one man has come out safe when Taylor sets her eyes on people. Her influence is too big. Her fan base is too loyal. For Baldoni's lawsuit to actually win in court, he needs something much stronger. A voice note apologizing for a creative disagreement isn't enough. It's damaging, sure, but it doesn't prove manipulation, defamation, or a targeted smear campaign. For Baldoni's side to actually hold weight, he needs direct evidence that Ryan Reynolds contacted WME to get him blacklisted. Emails, texts, phone call records, something concrete that proves there was an effort to destroy his career. Testimonies from insiders at WME could make all the difference. People who were part of these alleged conversations can confirm that pressure was applied to drop Baldoni. If there are legal documents or contracts that show a sudden and unjustified split between Baldoni and WME, it could be proof that this wasn't just a normal business decision, but a calculated move. And then there's the biggest game changer of all, more leaked audio. If Reynolds or Lively were actually caught on tape discussing how to control the media narrative, that could completely flip the case. But without this kind of evidence, this lawsuit drags on for years and becomes just another he said, she said situation. The court of public opinion might pick sides, but legally, it'll be an uphill battle. So, what do you think of this whole mess? Let me know in the comments below.